Have you ever had someone from your past that you were really close with, or just someone that you talk to and they're not really in your life anymore, but you still think about this person? This could be maybe an old partner you had, or a close friend, and maybe you just lost touch. It could be a family member. In my situation, this is about a kid. And I know this sounds weird, but let me explain. So, in 2017, I was 20 years old and I was in my junior year of college. And during this school year, I joined a student organization called College Mentors for Kids. And this is an organization that has chapters across many college campuses. And the purpose of the organization is the college students are the mentors, and we work with elementary school kids that are local to the area, so close by to whichever college you're at. And the kids that we work with are generally what they call at-risk children, and this normally means that they come maybe from a broken family, or the parent or the guardian that they live with is low income, so pretty poor. So those are the kind of kids that we would work with. And so every student, every college student, the mentor gets assigned one kid throughout the year, and we call them our buddies. So the buddy I got assigned to, for the sake of this story, I'm going to call him Bradley. I'm not going to use his real name because, again, at the time he was a kid. I'm going to call him Bradley. Bradley was in 5th grade, so he was either 9 or 10 years old, and he was in 5th grade of elementary school. So the next year he would have gone to middle school, which is 6th grade. And as soon as I met him, I knew that I was in for a very long year, because Bradley was very difficult. I remember trying to make conversation with him, and he wouldn't. Well, first off, when he first met me, he just stared at me like I was an alien or something. Honestly, I may have been like the first non-white person he's ever met. There's a very strong chance he's never met an Asian person before. And he gave me these weird looks, and I would try to talk to him, and he'll just, instead of talking, he'll make a noise. He'll be like, meh, meh, meh. I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be tough working with him. So the way it works is every week the kids will take a bus and they'll come on to the college campus, and every week we have some sort of activity planned with them. And the idea is that the activities are centered around like service and education, trying to teach them the importance of it. And, while we're doing these activities, we're encouraged to talk to the kids about things like, what do you like to do? What are you passionate in life? What do you want to be when you grow up? Those are the kind of conversations, that they wanted us to have with them. So my buddy, Bradley, he never wanted to participate in any of the activities. He never wanted to talk. The only thing he would be excited for was when the kids, came to campus before the activities started, they would have a snack. And This kid, Bradley, he would just, you're only supposed to take one thing, but he would run up to the table, he would grab a bunch of snacks and just stuff it into his pockets. And I always told him, Bradley, you're not supposed to be doing that. There's other kids that haven't gotten their snack yet. You should be a bit more considerate of that. He would never listen to me, and I wouldn't press him too hard about it, and that's only because the student organization, like the club leaders, they saw it happening and they were cool with it. So because of that, I was like, okay, I guess it's fine. But he would never participate in any of these activities while all of the other kids are like playing around and actually participating. He would just sit next to me, and I would always tell him, like, Bradley, don't you want to join them? It seems like a lot of fun. And he'll look at me, he'll just shake his head. No. I would try to make small talk with him. Sometimes he would open up, but for the most part, he was, he kind of just kept to himself. And he would misbehave a lot. He would just he would start screaming, or he would just be difficult to work with. There was one day in particular where he was having a really bad day. And, during the snack time, he was just grabbing all of this food and just putting it into his pockets, stuffing it into his backpack. And I kept telling him, I said, Bradley, you need to stop, because there are other groups, there are other kids that have not gotten their food yet, and you should let them have some. You're taking all of this food. And when I said that, he just snapped. And he started screaming. He started punching me. He started punching my arm. And I said, Bradley, you need to stop. You cannot hit me. That's not okay. He gets even more upset. He walks over to a table and he just starts banging his head on the table. Bam, bam, bam. Starts banging his head. And I'm just standing there. I'm shocked. I have no idea what to do. Some of the other club leaders, they walk over and they're trying to calm him down. They're like, Bradley, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. One of the leaders pulled me to the side and they told me, you did everything right, because you don't want to put your hands on him, because you could potentially get in even more trouble. Because I wasn't going to obviously I'm not going to fight the kid back, but I didn't know what to do in that situation. I was pretty shocked, because I was just watching him just bang his head on the table, and I was just watching him essentially hurt himself. And I just didn't know what to do in that situation. So after that experience, I figured he would never come back. I figured he just hated it. I figured he hated me. But next week rolls around and I see him get off the bus, and I'm like, hey, Bradley, how are you doing today? And he's like, meh. So at this point I realized, I think he's cooled down a bit. It's been a week now since that incident, and I figured things are good now. So he was still continuing to come onto campus every week to hang out with me. Towards the end of the school year, us college students went to the elementary school to, meet with the kids. But on top of that, the parents were there. So I got to meet Bradley's mom. And I met the mom, and she was with another guy. And at first I thought it was the dad, but it's not Bradley's dad. And this guy had teardrop tattoos on his face. And I didn't know what that meant, but apparently it means you've done something bad. If you have that on your face, it's kind of scary. But anyways, I meet the mom, and Bradley's mom tells me, oh, Bradley has so much fun. hanging out with you. Every week he's just excited to see you and he always talks about you. And I'm like, really? Like, actually? Because he never seemed happy when he was with me, but apparently he's telling his mom that he really enjoys spending time with me. So I was taken aback by that. I felt very honored to kind of just be there by his side, even though he wasn't really participating in much of the activities. I guess he enjoyed it and saw some sort of value in coming onto the college campus. So I was really happy when his mom told me that. And the school year ends, and after that, we're not communicating with these kids anymore. They're off on their own, just, doing their thing. So I haven't spoken or seen this kid since my junior year of college, since 2018. So the thing is, he was 9 or 10 years old, and now in the year of 2025, he should be like 18 or 19 years old. So this kid is either like finishing up high school or he's done with high school. He's a full-grown adult now, 18, which is crazy. But I still think about this kid every now and then, just wondering how he's doing. I remember when one day I asked him, Bradley, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he told me he wanted to be a firefighter. So I think about, is Bradley a firefighter? Is he doing something else? Whatever it is, I hope he is happy. I hope he is doing well. I hope his mom is doing well. And, I wish him nothing but the best. So, yeah, that's the story of my time in college when I was mentoring a fifth grader. And even though it's been years since I have seen him, I hope he and his family are doing well.